Hey guys, this is Miss Britt here,
And Mrs. Caldwell.
and we are going to talk to you about your new writing assignment that should be completed before we leave for winter break. So we're hoping to have it done over the next 2 weeks, and then you will have those last 4 days to make any edits before you go out on winter break. So you're going to be collecting notes this week and writing next week. So let's go through this document. This is the Wright Brothers nonfiction writing materials. Let's read this. First of all, this piece of writing should not be completed this week. You should be collecting facts and learning about the Wright brothers this week. That is your focus, to collect facts and learn about them. We will be helping you in class. Please keep a paper of all of the different facts and information you learned while watching and reading these videos and articles. And I will show you the videos and articles, Miss Caldwell will in just a moment. But your job is to write the information that you are learning, the facts that you are learning. You should be writing this down in your writing notebook so that you can keep it, so you can bring it to class, so we can start helping you formulate your thoughts or get your thoughts written down and all together. So, expectations for this week. Going to highlight that. This is what we're focusing on this week. You are going to be collecting facts. You are going to be using the resources that we have provided to you to learn about the Wright brothers' early life. When you learn about their early life, you're going to be thinking about things like, when were they born? Where were they born? What was their childhood like? Think about anything that you heard or you read that was interesting to them. So you're going to be looking for things that they found interesting. You can tell us anything you would like to about their family life. All right, next, middle years. Middle years and the accomplishments pertaining to flight. So in the middle years, in this next section, you're going to be thinking about jobs that they had. Jobs that they had. Each brother may have had, and then because we learned about a couple of different things that they did before they were well known for their flight with aviation. We're going to be thinking about information about how they studied and learned about flight. So in some of the articles that you're going to be reading, you're going to hear about some information on how they studied and how they learned about flying aircrafts. And then you can also tell us about the actual first flight information, how long they stayed in the air, how far they traveled. You could even tell us the location of this first flight that they did. So you're going to be thinking about all of their accomplishments, things that they did in the middle years. Now, just because we didn't list it here, it doesn't mean that you cannot include it. You after reading the materials, you're going to be including things that you find interesting that happened in their middle years. All right, next section, later years and what they are remembered for. So you're going to be thinking about these kinds of things. What did they do after inventing the airplane? When and where they died, or any other information about this that you would like to include. Some interesting facts about the Wright brothers that you would like to include in your paper. So at the end, you're going to be thinking about including these kinds of things. This is not all you can add. If there's something else you would like to add, you just include it. Now, this is what we're doing this week. You are learning about them. You are reading these articles, or you are listening to videos of Miss Caldwell and I read them to you. And then there are actually 2 YouTube videos that you can watch about the Wright brothers and put down anything that you are learning. Then next week, we are moving into writing our paper. When you write your paper, it is going to have 3 paragraphs, just like the last piece of writing that we did. 3 paragraphs with at least 5 sentences. You can have much more than that. In fact, we would love for you to have more than that, but you need at least 5 sentences in each paragraph. When you are writing your 3 paragraphs, your first paragraph should include the information that you gathered in your notes about early life. Remember the notes that you took the week before? Yes, right there. You're going to be thinking about those things from the early life. Your second paragraph is going to include information gathered about their middle years, which is this section right here. So any notes that you gathered about their middle years, you may even want to do early life on one piece of paper, middle years on another piece of paper, and then their later years on a third piece of paper. Because guess what? Those later years, that's going to be your third paragraph. Okay? Now, another thing that needs to be included in your writing, since you are going to be writing about facts, that means you're going to be writing something that is nonfiction, right? You're going to be writing something that is true. We want you to include at least 2 nonfiction text features into your writing, like we have seen in reading class over the last couple of weeks. Here are some examples. These are not all of the text features, but here are some examples that you could include in your writing. You must include at least 2. Your writing is going to be great depending on how many, it's going to be great regardless, but the more text features that you use and the more you help your reader understand what you are saying, the better your writing piece is going to be. So you can include some bold or italicized or colored text. You can include photographs and diagrams. Timelines would be great. We know those diagrams could be helpful. Of course, photographs of what the first planes look like, titles and subtitles. Now, for this, of course, your paper is going to have a title, so you're going to have to come up with a title for your paper. But you could give each one of your sections a subtitle, just like we've seen in our nonfiction writing. Another great idea would be to include a map of where Kitty Hawk is located and or Dayton, Ohio, because we know both of those locations are very important to the Wright brothers. If you talk about any museums, because I know that throughout the research that you're going to do, you're going to hear about some museums. You could even incorporate the location of those museums. One of my favorite things to read in nonfiction text are fact boxes. So you are welcome to include one of those. If you need help figuring out how to do that, your teacher will help you. And then last but not least, any other text feature that you would like to include. Now, super important, your paragraphs should have complete sentences. We have been working on this all school year. That means they should begin with a capital letter, they should end with punctuation, and you should have correct spelling and grammar. Now, that just means that you're going to go back and you're going to read over it before turning it in to make sure that it makes sense to you as a reader, because if it doesn't make sense to you, you know it's not going to make sense to your teacher. Last little section here says you are typing this on a computer, which will help you with those things. When you see that little blue line that comes up, let's see if I can get it to do it right now. Little red line, you click on it and it helps you to figure out what that word is supposed to be. Yes, we want that to be these. When you see a line underneath a word, you need to read over it and see if there's something you can do to fix it. All right, Miss Caldwell is going to go over your resources and materials.
Alrighty, friends. So thank you for staying this long. All right, so we are headed into the resources and materials. So we have found, Miss Britt and I, we went through and found 4 different articles that you can go into and look at. These are the 4 different articles. They're biographies because they're about the Wright brothers. So it's going to be 4 different biographies. And these are the 4 different websites that you can go onto. Now you'll see underneath it says video of Mrs. Caldwell or video of Miss Britt. This is us reading the article to you. So I'll go into Duckster. This is one of the websites, and you can see if you go down here, here is the biography of the Wright brothers, all the information here. Now, if you would like to hear us read this to you instead of reading it yourself, you can go right underneath beside the red and click on the YouTube video, and it will take you to the video. Right now, mine is private, but it will be up and ready to go whenever you are clicking or doing this article today. So go through these, read the different articles. You know, you can do one a day. These are going to give you the information that you need for everything up above. So all the early life, middle years, accomplishments pertaining to flight, the later years and what they are remembered for. All of that is going to be found in these 4 different articles. And then we have 2 videos down below. We have a YouTube video or we have 2 YouTube videos that you can go and click on, and they're all about the Wright brothers. So these are some really great resources that you can use for your writing assignment that we are going to be writing next week. This week, though, you need to be focusing on writing down. You can do it in bullet points, you can do it in sentences, however you would like to, but collecting your facts, writing down, the different bullet points we have here, so you can make a beginning, a middle, and an end paragraph with 5 sentences each. All right, I hope you have a wonderful Monday, and we will see you later. Bye.